And just like that, we are back with another Savage stream. And this one was kind of impromptu. Is that what that's called? Impromptu, ad hoc? I don't know. One of those two words. And it's because of the BEAM Hardfork. I figured I would want to cover it. I like covering the Hardforks like live and kind of like watching the Block Explorer change and you know, everything flip over and everything be successful. So I am mining BEAM right now also, but I have to, full disclosure, I have not been keeping a close eye on BEAM for a really long time. Don't really have an excuse why. I mean, I like privacy coins and all that stuff, but for some reason I was always not paying too much attention to BEAM. Something happened early on, I guess, I don't know, and I just didn't, just kind of lost interest. But just looking at some of the features that they're going to be adding and website and all the stuff that they've got going on, I'm reinvigorated with BEAM, a little interested again with BEAM a little bit. So I just want to talk about it. Let's go and check real quick. Let's go and check the status because it is coming up here really soon. Yeah, so it says here 18 minutes for block 777, 777. And if we go to the Explorer, you can see we're on 755, right? So we're on 5.5 right now. Let me do a refresh. Yeah, actually we're on 6.2. So that is, yep, 18, is that right? 18, a little bit longer than 18 minutes, right? No, I can't do math. That's 15 minutes. Okay, sorry. So it's 15 minutes from now. Got a couple of things that we can talk about until then. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it and see what is up with this. Should be pretty interesting to watch. All right, so like I was saying, in a short while, you know, BEAM is going to be hard forking probably within 15 minutes to a new consensus mechanism called BEAM hash 3. It's a variation of the Equihash 1505 proof of work algorithm, and this is an upgrade to BEAM hash 2, so it basically is their third proof of work algorithm in a pretty short amount of time too. But BEAM hash 3 is more memory intensive, saturating a GPU's memory bandwidth and hopefully making it difficult to mine with FPGAs, field programmable gate arrays, or zero-day ASICs, application-specific integrated circuit. So hopefully it'll make it really difficult, or at least not efficient enough to warrant the design and manufacture of FPGAs or ASICs for this particular algorithm. And remember that BEAM uses Mimblewimble for the transactions and Equihash for the proof of work, and that's what we're talking about, the proof of work mining algorithm here whenever we say BEAM hash 3. But it is a variation of Equihash, so just keep that in mind. And if there are secret devices on the network, this fork should ensure that the network is 100% GPUs or GPU-like devices. What I mean by that is it kind of goes back to almost like a ProgPal situation where if you were to design an ASIC for this algorithm, you would basically be designing and building a GPU, right? So that's kind of the simplistic way of looking at it. But basically the computational changes made with this algorithm are going to be a disadvantage for ASICs and FPGAs for the most part. So if we go over here to the BEAM website, beam.mw, and MW is Mimblewimble. That's why they have MW after their in their URL here. So we're still at 15 minutes here. I think it's going to be a little bit quicker than 15 minutes, but I don't know where I'm sure they're pulling this right from their Block Explorer, but BEAM has 1 minute blocks. So, you know, if we go to the Explorer here, refresh, we're at 6.5. So that would mean that we're 12 away, right? So 12 minutes is, but again, they might have a more precise calculator here on their website, I would assume, since it's their network. So maybe this is more accurate than 12 minutes, right? But anyway, so the fork, this fork is a part of the roadmap for BEAM. So if you go to beam.mw and go to their roadmap, you can see this is all part of Eager Electron, and that's the name of it, the name of this particular set of features. And hopefully this is going to be the last proof of work consensus change. If it does change in the future, it'll be because of something really dramatic happening, like, you know, secret devices that are identified and they need to fork again to ensure a GPU, you know, majority GPU network. So hopefully this will be the end of that. So they came out, they did a Medium article earlier in the year, February 6th, that was talking about what they had planned for the year and all that stuff. This basically covers all of the information about what the upgrade is going to entail. Look at this roadmap. This is crazy, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here. Yeah, I mean, we're all the way over here now. I like the color scheme and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. All right, good job, guys. But yeah, this goes over everything that is going on and what they're going to be doing in 2020. And you can see right here, you've got, this is a nice little graphic here. So you've got the Hardfork right here. That's what we're going to be looking at today. And then this is what's included with the Hardfork. I think all these things are actually, maybe not. I don't know how much of this is actually going to be done. I think, you know, because the way this works is they don't just, it's not like a push a button and then boom, all this stuff happens. This is just like, look at it as though a time frame, you know, between here and here that is going to implement these services or these features. I don't think that all of this is going to be in this one upgrade, but I do know that BEAM Hash 3 is. And I think that there's some confidential assets stuff going on and one-side payments. I don't remember reading anything about Tor or I2P in this specific right now today. But in this section, it will be, right? So yeah, cool stuff. Super busy team, clearly. So besides the algorithm change to BEAM Hash 3, there's some other features that'll be implemented. I kind of mentioned them already. You got the support for confidential assets. And whenever I saw this, I was like, wow, okay. So assets like Ravencoin assets, is that what we're talking about here? And it kind of is. Basically, it's, you know, and this is neat because this is going to be on a privacy network, a privacy coin blockchain, which is super cool. It looks like there's going to be two types of assets that can be created. There'll be some predefined ones and some custom ones. And it looks like they're categorized as confidential synthetics, confidential wrapped assets, and community coins and tokens. Now, some of this stuff I think has been in progress for quite some time and maybe even partially implemented in some way. But like I said at the top, I have not been following very closely with BEAM, so forgive me a little bit here if I'm a little bit behind the times, but this definitely caught my eye, the confidential assets. I think that's cool. There's other projects that are working on similar things. I think that's neat. So just full disclosure there, you know, I might be a little bit behind on some of my documentation here, or some of my notes that I've got here. So let's see here. Oh, apparently the assets are going to cost about 3,000 BEAM, which is pretty expensive, I believe, to create. But if you think about what you're doing, you know, you're basically, which, I mean, that's more than a Ravencoin asset for sure. But basically what you're doing is creating your own token, your own, you know, coin on BEAM, on the BEAM blockchain. So with privacy features included. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that is very neat. And thanks for subscribing there, Sandy Watson. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think that confidential assets is going to be really cool. I really need to dive further into it to learn a little bit more about it. Definitely, I will definitely be looking at that. So another feature is the support for Lelantus Mimblewimble. The BEAM developers rewrote the original Lelantus, I think I'm saying that right, protocol, so transaction values will never be revealed, and the network will support shielded outputs and inputs. And another thing here, they're talking about one-sided payments or one-side payments. And I have done content on BEAM before, but it has been a while. This was back in January of 2019 on I did a video on how to withdraw BEAM from Spark Pool, because, you know, if you're familiar with Mimblewimble, the way that it works, at least in the past, is both the wallets have to be online at the same time in order to send and receive. Again, forgive me if I'm a little bit behind, and maybe that's not the case anymore. Maybe there's some newer technology out there, but I think that that's still the case. But with one-sided payments, these are also known as direct anonymous payments. The BEAM developers came up with this idea of one-sided payments. Initially, there were quite a few problems and limitations. I think there was some like exposure of addresses or something on there. But now direct anonymous payments won't have these limitations and will allow you to create these shielded outputs. And this is a part of today's fork. Okay, so some additional features or some additional things would be the support for the creation of privacy-focused DeFi apps on top of the BEAM blockchain. You know, DeFi is kind of like the hot thing right now, hot topic, and that is something else that they're going to also work on or also implement here. Alex Romanov, the BEAM CTO's Chief Technical Officer, said that Eager Electron 5, which is this particular upgrade, is a major step forward, both technologically and product-wise, to making BEAM a leading platform for confidential, decentralized financial applications, allowing trading any value, anytime, quickly, reliably, and privately. All right, so that is pretty cool. So that basically, you know, DeFi is really popular term, like I said a couple minutes ago or a few seconds ago. Super, you know, everybody's talking about DeFi, and there's, you know, there's thoughts for pluses and minuses on both sides. But one thing that it doesn't have right now that I'm aware of is privacy. So this looks like you have a platform now to build DeFi apps on top of BEAM, or at least the privacy blockchain. And that is super, super cool because Ethereum doesn't have that. Like, Ethereum is the big, you know, DeFi network, right? Everybody's building on Ethereum for these decentralized finance applications, but they're not private. And this is going to enable that capability. So I think that is that's significant. That's a huge accomplishment. So another kudos to the BEAM team here. Another thing that they're going to implement another thing that's being implemented today is BEAM atomic swaps. The Eager Electron is apparently also going to include the official launch of their atomic swaps. They have this in the wallet. This is so cool. So inside of the BEAM wallet, there is atomic swaps, and not that. It's right here. And so inside the wallet, you have it. You have offers. And I think that what this means, eventually, this is, I mean, I hate to say game changer and all that stuff. I hate saying that, but because everybody has a game changer in their project. Let's go and check the fork. Let's go and check the block height real quick, just to make sure we don't miss it. Oh, we're there. Good grief. All right, so here's, I did it just in time. So we're on block 777. So it looks like we have, well, actually, after the next one, we will be, how's that work? Actually, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's on this block. So this is the first block of BEAM hash 3. Now, what's cool is let's go over here to my workers and make sure that this is still mining and that nothing bad happened. Now, it was at 200. Okay, so the hash rate or the sols per second is going to change, and it did significantly. This is half as much as it was before. I was at like 230 or 225, 230, somewhere around in there with this little rig here. And now I'm at 100. But I'm thinking that if there were some secret ASICs or FPGAs on the network, then the difficulty should drop also. So we're going to keep an eye on this. All this stuff takes a while to to work out. It's not going to be instant or anything like that. Although this particular network is pretty sharp and things happen. You know, they've got the block adjustment every block, or the difficulty adjustment every block, and all that stuff. So yeah, so see, now it's like not coming up. Like the block explorer looks like, there we go. Okay, it's back up. All right. You know what? I did not even look at what the difficulty was or the hash rate. I wasn't even paying that much attention to it. I'd have to go back in the video because I did show this screen before, so we'll be able to see like how, if it did drop, you know, quite a bit. I should have documented that before. I know these things. I don't know why I did. I just was starting to talk about the project and stuff. Let me check the chat, see if you guys are over here. What is up? Sarth, what's up, Chan? PCB guy, what is up? Cyber Noob, what is up? Yashnik, what's up? Unknown Crypto, what is up, man? Chris from New Mexico, right on. What's up, Crypto Mikkel? Thanks for tuning in, man. Just kind of hanging out, watching this Block Explorer and talking about some BEAM. I haven't done, I was telling everybody earlier, I haven't done a lot of BEAM content. I think I only have 2 or 3 videos, and it's been a long time. So it's kind of neat to be talking about BEAM again, I guess. So 60-second block times, and this has been here for what appears to be longer than 60 seconds. So we'll see what happens there. I'll come back to that in a few minutes. So I was talking about the atomic swaps. These are super cool. I think that after this fork, once it's implemented fully, I believe that we're going to be able to also swap confidential assets in here. So if you create a confidential asset, you'll be able to swap it with BTC, LTC, BEAM, and Qtum. And that's, you know, again, I don't like using the terminology game changer, but just think about that. You can create an asset and swap it with those other cryptocurrencies right inside the wallet. I think that is that's pretty cool. That is some cool stuff. So now it's a little bit past the time, okay, as far as like how to prepare, but don't freak out. You know, you're still okay if you're mining BEAM and you updated your miners to Gminer 2.11 or higher for NVIDIA, and LOL miner 1.0A2 or higher for AMD, then you should still be mining BEAM. It should have just switched over and you really wouldn't have anything to do, depending on the pool, I believe. But if you're, you know, mining on one of the more popular pools like 2 miners or something like that, then you should be good to go. And you can see that my rig just kept right on mining, although it's half the solutions per second as it was before. I had this other article up here. Let's see here. Pretty much already talked about all this. But yeah, this is the one that goes over the 3,000. It costs 3,000 beams for a confidential asset. That's about $1,500 right now, it looks like. I don't know if that's that accurate. Actually, it's June 28th. So yeah, that should be accurate if they updated that part. Oh, you know what? I started to talk about the one-sided payments, and I got sidetracked there. So used to, you would have to have both wallets online, and in order to send and receive the currency, beams back and forth. And this video here was kind of about that. It was basically saying, if you, like, I was mining to Spark Pool, because in the very beginning you pretty much had to mine to a pool. And if you, at least during this time, I think that's what the situation was. And in order to withdraw it, you had to have your wallet up and running, and that's what I'm kind of going through here. Wallet up and running, you had to go to Spark Pool and actually hit withdraw, and you had to have some other things set up in there for everything to work, and it was kind of a mess. And a one-sided payment, it seems like that what that's going to actually do is basically give the capability of sending without the two wallets being online, if I'm understanding correctly. I believe that's what that means. Now, there might be some timeouts in there where, if you don't attach, or if you don't fire up your wallet soon enough, then it might fail. Because I know that if you come over here to, let's see, where did I see that at? Yeah, if you go to receive, it says for the transaction to complete, you should get online during the 12 hours after beams are sent. So if you are receiving them, then you really want to fire up your wallet to receive them within 12 hours. Now, I don't know if this is going to go away. Actually, it's not, because this is the newest wallet, which is one of the things that you have to do in order to support this upgrade, is update your wallet to version 5 or higher, right? Whichever the latest number is. And you can see here I've got it at version 5. So that's how you prepare, okay? And I think that one-sided payment thing is going to be cool if it's working the way I think it's going to work. So for users, basically all you would do is update your wallet to version 5.0 or higher. And for miners, you would have to update your mining software. And if you're like an exchange, then you would have to update your wallet over there as well, and do all the stuff and a pools and exchanges would have to update their wallet as well in order for all that stuff to keep on working. And two miners had already done it. I think that they're not the largest beam mining pool. I think that there's I forget the it might still be Spark Pool. I don't know. We'll go and look at that in just a second. But this little article here from two miners on their blog just goes over what the update is and what it means for the different users, miners and users. So I'll put that in the description as well. All right, let's see here. Let's see where we're at on Explorer, see if it ever changed. No, it did not. Now, I might need to, let's see. So it's still on this block. Now, I wonder if it's doing this because this was the last block of this chain, basically, right? So, you do a okay, there we go. Okay, so I did a Control F5 because it was like stuck. So now it's at 779. So that's good. Okay, so it was probably for whatever reason my browser was just stuck. I probably could have like closed all the windows and came back into it and been okay as well. All right, so we are moving along. The chain is moving along. Maybe it was just that first block afterwards took a little while. I don't know. A few seconds ago. All right, well, I don't know what else to talk about. What are you guys up to? Hey, what's up, Dan the Dane? Yeah, I had refreshed the page a couple times there, Robot, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't changing the information. So I hit Control F5 to force it. All right, well, I think that we success with this. This has been a success. We watched it happen, kind of watched it happen. I don't know how much, how long before I switched over here that it was actually on 777, but you know, hey, I did the same thing with Aeon. Whenever they forked one time, I was, you know, over here talking about stuff, and then I switched back over there, and I just caught just as that block passed. You know, that first block. It was just a few, like half a second of it, you know, on their Explorer. So it was pretty cool. 10 BTC on the competition. What competition? Oh, today? Oh, that's right. We're doing that today, aren't we? I forgot all about it. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here, let you guys get back on with your day. Tonight we are doing the last Veta frame build where myself and Unknown Crypto, not Unknown Crypto, Crypto Mining Lifer, y'all all have crypto in your name, and it's frustrating. Crypto Mining Lifer and I are competing tonight. We're taking apart the Veta frame and putting it back together. We've got a little bit of rules in there where we're not going to take out all the screws, like for the GPUs and the standoffs for the motherboards and stuff. We're not going to do that. We're not going to take those out, right? So whenever we take it apart, we're just going to leave those parts in there, and then we're going to reassemble it. Now we do have to take all of the, I think if I'm understanding correctly, we have to take all of the the little angle brackets. We have to take all of those pieces off. The T-slot nuts and all that stuff has to come apart, if I'm understanding correctly. So all that's got to come apart, and then we got to start, you know, and reassemble it. I think it'll probably take disassembly plus assembly. It's going to be 45 minutes, I would imagine. Maybe a little bit less than that. Yeah, so probably maybe 40 minutes, 35 or 40 minutes is how long it's probably going to take. Maybe a little bit less than that. I don't know though, because getting all those little parts of, you know, disassembled is going to take a little bit of time because they're really small, you know. So, all right, whatever. But that's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Hey, what's up to Deadwood? 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And you'll go to DCA Adventure, their website or their channel, to watch the stream. I don't think that they don't have it up here yet, but they're going to be hosting it. We're going to get into Zoom, and I'll be streaming it on my channel. I'll try to do the same thing I did last time because it seemed to work out really well. So we'll get into all that, but it'll be about, I mean, we'll probably start, I'll start probably a little bit earlier than 7. So I'll probably start streaming maybe on my channel like a quarter till or something, like 6:45 or so. So should be fun, should be a good time. Just 2 people. Like the first time that we did it, there was, I don't know, 9, 8, something like that. There was a lot of, the screen was just full of people, but this time it's just gonna be 2. So it should be pretty cool. Easy to keep track of, you know, where everybody's at. So it should be fun. But I could just go on and on, guys. I'm gonna get out of here, and I will see you guys tonight, 7 p.m. And don't forget about the poker tournament too. If you don't know what I'm talking about, leave me a comment and we'll figure it out, because that's the next charity tournament or the charity event that we're going to be doing on the crypto mining side of YouTube. So I'll see you guys tonight. Stay savage, everybody.